Hey guys, hope everyone's safe. Welcome to new subscribers. Iron Horse, appreciate the shout out. What are we out here? I picked this thing up a couple weeks back. I actually had it sitting here 2 weeks, I guess. Bought it, seller said that he was told the recoil was all that was wrong with it, and once I got into it, that was true. It did come with a bar and chain at 16 inch. I don't like 16-inch bars. I don't like bending over. Bar and chain was usable, I guess. Had like a stock top safety chain on it. But the pulley was busted in two. You can piece it together enough to where it'll crank a few times before it comes apart again. Saw does run good. Someone has muffler modded it. Basically, they just took the muffler off and gutted the baffle out of it. It will cut, but it does need a recoil. I ordered a pulley that was supposed to fit it. Got it here, and I guess over time they made different pulleys. This is a 340 Husky. In case the camera's not picking that up. Same saw all the way up to 353. It's just a 41cc versus 45 or 50 or whatever. We got us an aftermarket starter cover that came from the Duke. It looks pretty good. It's just a lot different shade of orange than the saw. I don't care for that. Figured maybe the guts out of it would fit, but they're the same as the other pulley that I ordered, so I guess I've got an extra pulley for that. But I do have a new Archer chain, 18-inch full house. Got the original 18-inch bar off of my 440 to put on it. I bought that saw new about 4 years ago. They're a good saw if you're looking for something small, cut small wood with. I just picked this one up because it was cheap, and a lot of people get these things and port them. It'd be easy to convert to 350. But anyway, gonna get into pulling this cover off and putting the new one on. Just 4 screws in it. This one's actually missing one. I'll probably dig through a bucket and find one. See what we have. It is really hot here. Been too hot to do anything. I think most of the country's that way. No, the Bayou Country power saws. Hope he's safe. That hurricane, I think, hit about right in the middle of where he lives, according to his last video. I know he said he was on like a chainsaw cleanup crew down there, but looks like that place is a mess. I'm glad I live where I do in cases of tornadoes and hurricanes. Every now and then we'll get a little tornado with some roofs up or something. That's like once in a decade thing. I live in the hills of Virginia, and we just don't get a lot of that here. Weather here is usually pretty good. We'll get a big snow every now and then, but not in the last 5 or 6 years we thought. Both all pretty clean. Once I got it running, when they had done the muffler mod, they had retuned the carburetor and it was a little lean. Yeah, it's just a totally different shade of orange. I'm not caring for that at all. I wish I would have just found a used OEM cover now. That looks horrible. I'm gonna pause this till I find the 4th screw. I'll cut you back on. Should have just left you going. That one's actually out of a John thread, but it'll be just fine. All right. And this saw, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's been ported, but I don't know if these saws have that much compression from the factory, but this little saw has a ton of compression. Probably won't put a gauge on it because I really don't care. But I'm gonna grab that bar and chain, we'll put that on it and go from there. I pulled this bar off of my little 440 back last fall. We was at a flea market with my dad, and my wife said, hey, there's a guy down there got a chainsaw bar. It was brand new, never used. I think I gave him 15 bucks for it, so I put that on my little 440 with a new chain, and I think I used it once after that. I've just got so many saws, I'll rotate them in and out. Some saws are lucky if they get used one time during the firewood season. We cut something around 20 pickup loads last fall, or fall through spring. That's not little loads, that's pretty good size loads, very close to a cord of wood a load. So I like to change my saws in and out, and if I build one, I'll take it. And some saws I get stuck on and want to use more than others. My little MS 360 seems to be my go-to saw, usually the very first one I got and rebuilt. I've got a video on that. I've done an OEM rebuild on that saw. Everything in it but the rings were OEM. It was not cheap. I've run a lot of different chains, Oregon, steel, Husqvarna. I think that 360 I was talking about has a Chinese chain from Farmer Tech on it, truthfully. The only chain I found I didn't like was a Forester chain, and I could have just got a bad one. Cause that thing, it was the one I put on that 440, just will not hold an edge. I don't know what the culprit of that is, but I thought I was putting a chain on an old Mac there for a minute. I know there's going to be people say put a 16-inch back on it, small saw. Yeah, I don't like the 16-inch bar, never have. Too small if you're limbing in a tree or something, I guess, but I don't like bending over. 18-inch I really don't like, but the little 024 I built has a 20-inch on it, and it's 41cc saw, so that should tell you something. If your chain's sharp, it'll do just fine. This saw is the adjuster in the front, and I just tell you, it ain't the easiest thing in the world to get to. Lock in. And a lot of people, again, to get on that, they'll say 18 inch is too much for a small saw, but this bar came new on a 40cc saw that I bought new. It did have a semi-chisel chain on it, safety chain, but it handled it just fine. We actually used that tree to cut, or that saw to cut down the big dead red oak that was right behind this building that was probably 22 inches on the stump. I've fooled with small engines since the mid-90s. I'm actually certified in it. Done it off and on, but it wasn't, I don't know, four and a half years ago, I'd actually caught on to the fact of being able to hot rod a power saw. Have no idea whose channel sparked that, but I've hot rodded cars for years, built a lot of different engines, but I've got some problems that don't allow me to go 120 miles an hour in a car anymore, so hot rodding the power saw is a lot safer and a lot cheaper too. I've got a video on my Mustang I built a while back. That car just does a lot of setting, and I swear I think I have around $2,000 just in the EFI setup and the ignition and fuel system on the car alone. But with that said, an old power saw is just a lot cheaper to hot rod. I don't know what we'll do with this. We may tear it down, port it. I may just put it back online and flip it and make a quick few dollars. I do have a 395 XP I've been collecting parts for. That'll be a complete build from the cases split up. It's just going to cost a lot of money. I've got everything right now minus the top end and the stuff to bolt the carburetor up and air filter and all of that. It's going to be another couple $100 to $300 for all of that, and it's just I've been slowly buying parts to build the saw. But let's see how this thing starts. It's been sitting, I don't know, a little over a week since it was started. And you just seen me take it apart, so you know it's a cold start. Eight pulls, it ain't bad. That's not bad. 10 total pulls to get it going. I really hate the looks of that cover, but it don't matter. The saw's mine. If I decided to sell it, I'd just let the OEM cover go with it. But who knows, we may just tear it down, port it, set it at their little 440, and that'd be a pretty good pair of little saws to take out to cut small wood with. I'll tell you what, we'll go out back and see how it does that chain. It may make me eat my words and bog and not do nothing. My log stand is about had it, but we're gonna make a cut anyway, and this log's getting a little short, but I was able to pick this up, was helping my dad clear some brush. Got us a big pine log about 1 foot through. Should be really good for testing saws, but just to show you a little of the scenery where I live. I'm just gonna let the saw do the work itself, and we'll see how she cuts. I know how it cuts. I've already cut with it with the old barn chain, but bad. I'll show you that chain right out of the box. They throw a big nice chip, and that saw is tuned a little rich. I need to lean it out, but you get the idea. That log's around 18, 19 inches. It's seasoned out. Obviously that would have been a better test, but it does pretty good. I owe 24 to eat it alive, but I think it's just a stock muffler molded saw. Alright, she cuts. It's obvious in that size and type of wood. That's a pretty hard piece of wood. Like I said, around 18, 19 inches or so. Full house 18 inch. That's full chisel chain, but as you can see, it never really stalled down, I guess you would say. Not bad. I could dial the carb in a little bit and speed the cut up, but I don't know anything about the saw, and I'd rather run it a little before I go to leaning things out. But I just thought I'd shoot a quick little video for you guys. It's probably going to end up being longer than I thought, but yeah, if you'd like to see it ported, let me know. It won't be anytime soon. Again, I hate that cover. It's just totally different color than the saw. It's more of the color that the new 440 or newer, the 440 I have, it's similar to that color. But anyway, I'm going to quit rambling. Everyone stay safe and have a good one. Thank you for watching.